Welcome to Ping 24 Updates. Subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Manila, Tokyo. The airwaves crackle with urgency. Japan's defense minister signals destroyer transfer to Philippines. News tickers roar with the update. The deal is heating up. And this time, it is not just talk. On live TV, anchors lean forward, voices tight with suspense. What looked like a distant possibility is suddenly at the front lines of Asia-Pacific security. Outside the Philippine Navy headquarters, cameras flash. Reporters jostle for angles. Rumors that once swirled in policy circles now dominate prime time. The focus? The Abukuma-class destroyer escorts, Japanese ships once deemed out of reach, now within Manila's grasp. Political analysts scramble to unpack the defense minister's statement. Was this a hint? A promise? The words are careful, but the meaning is clear. Japan is ready to discuss real, specific vessels, not just vague naval assets. The mood is electric. For the Philippines, a new era of naval power may be about to dawn. Questions swirl. Which ships? When? And most urgently, can Manila turn this dramatic news into a hard-edged reality on the open sea? For years, the idea of Japan transferring warships to the Philippines felt like wishful thinking. Policy summits and press releases danced around the issue, always careful, always vague, but this week the conversation changed. Japan's defense minister named the class Abukuma. Suddenly, the abstract became concrete. What makes this shift so dramatic? It's not just that a ship transfer is possible. It's that the transfer is now about specific hulls, with real histories and real capabilities. The Abukuma-class is not a random choice. It's a ship designed for fast-moving, high-stakes maritime threats, exactly what the Philippines faces in its contested waters. This shift from rumor to reality marks a turning point. Diplomats and generals are no longer debating if, but when and how. The focus now is on logistics, training, and political timing. The sense of suspense grows. Will the deal go through before the next crisis erupts in the South China Sea? For the first time, the Philippine Navy can imagine these ships under its own flag. That vision is as thrilling as it is daunting. Among the 6 ships in the Abukuma-class, 2 names rise above the rest: JS Chikuma and JS Sendai. Defense insiders aren't picking these by chance. These ships are the oldest in the class, commissioned in the early 1990s, and are already nearing the end of their frontline service in Japan. Why Chikuma and Sendai? First, they are at the perfect point in their life cycle for transfer. Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force, or JMSDF, is modernizing rapidly, phasing out older vessels for new high-tech replacements. Chikuma and Sendai, with decades of service, are logical candidates to be retired and passed on first. Second, both ships have well-documented maintenance records. They've been upgraded over the years, but not so much that they're packed with sensitive Japanese technology that can't be shared. This balance makes them transferable while still valuable to a new operator like the Philippines. For Manila, these ships represent a sweet spot. Sweet spot. Proven, upgraded platforms that can still punch above their weight, if the transition is handled right. The Abukuma-class destroyer escorts were never just ordinary warships. They were designed in the late 1980s, at a time when Japan faced a growing submarine threat from neighboring states. The goal: build a vessel that could detect, chase, and neutralize submarines in crowded, shallow seas. These ships bristle with anti-submarine warfare gear. Their sonar suites are sensitive, capable of picking up even the faintest echoes underwater. Each is armed with torpedoes and depth charges, making them deadly hunters. Their hulls are shaped for speed and maneuverability, letting them respond fast to sudden threats. The Abukuma-class quickly became a backbone of Japan's coastal defense. They patrolled sea lanes, escorted convoys, and acted as deterrents against hostile submarines. Over time, they earned a reputation for reliability and toughness, a reputation the Philippine Navy now hopes to inherit. But hunting submarines is only part of the story. These ships also bring radar, missiles, and guns, tools for a broad range of maritime missions. No warship survives decades at sea without upgrades. The Abukuma-class is no exception. Through the years, these ships have seen waves of improvements, both in hardware and software. Each upgrade kept them relevant in a rapidly changing world. Early on, the ships received new sonar and radar systems, boosting their ability to spot stealthy threats. Later came digital navigation tools, fire control computers, and more reliable engines. Their missile defenses were improved, making them tougher in crowded, contested waters. These upgrades weren't just about firepower, they were about survival. With more advanced submarines prowling the Pacific, Japan needed every edge. The Abukuma-class got it. Now, as these ships prepare for a possible new life in the Philippines, their modernized systems give Manila a running start. But with upgrades come challenges. The Philippine Navy must learn to maintain and operate unfamiliar systems, fast. The offer of Abukuma-class ships is a golden opportunity, but it is also a heavy burden. The Philippine Navy is eager for new hardware, but absorbing a foreign-built, high-tech warship is never simple. It's a test of logistics, training, and resourcefulness. First, there's the crew. Abukuma-class ships run with about 120 sailors, more than most Philippine Navy ships. Each sailor must learn new machinery, new procedures, new routines. Training will take months, maybe longer, and mistakes could prove costly at sea. Next comes the supply chain. The parts and tools needed to keep these ships running are mostly Japanese. Manila will need agreements for spare parts, technical support, and possibly Japanese advisors on call. Without this, even a minor breakdown could sideline a ship for weeks. Finally, there's integration. Can these ships talk to the rest of the fleet? Can their radars link with Philippine systems? Every piece of new tech must fit into a much larger puzzle. What makes the Abukuma-class tick? Start with the basics. Each ship displaces about 2,000 tons, about twice the weight of a modern missile corvette. They stretch 109 meters long with a sleek hull built for speed. Top speed is a brisk 27 knots, or about 50 kilometers per hour. Thanks to powerful gas turbines. That means they can outpace most civilian ships and many military vessels, which is a crucial edge in fast-moving crises. Their range is around 4,000 nautical miles, enough to patrol the Philippine archipelago and back with fuel to spare. The crew is typically 120 strong. That's officers, sailors, engineers, technicians, all packed into a tight, efficient space. The ship's main weapons are anti-submarine torpedoes, depth charges, a 76mm main gun, and surface-to-air missiles. Sensors include powerful radars and hull-mounted sonar. All these features make the Abukuma-class a leap forward for the Philippines, but only if they can master the technology. The clock is ticking. If JS Chikuma and JS Sendai arrive tomorrow, can the Philippine Navy ready them in time? The stakes are high. Tensions in the South China Sea build by the month. Every day lost is a day Manila's new ships sit idle, not shaping events in contested waters. To succeed, the Navy must move fast. Sailors need training, Japanese style, but adapted for local needs. Supply lines must be built before the first breakdown. Commanders must practice new tactics, learning how to use these ships as force multipliers, not just floating symbols. There is risk. If integration stumbles, the ships could become expensive dockside ornaments. But if the Navy gets it right, the Abukuma-class could change the balance at sea, giving Manila not just new hardware, but new confidence. The question grows sharper. Can the Philippines beat the clock and make these ships matter before the next crisis hits? The Abukuma-class deal is no longer just a rumor. It's a test of strategy, partnership, and resolve. For Japan, transferring these ships is a signal to all of Asia. Alliances count, and security is shared. For the Philippines, it's a chance to leapfrog decades of naval development, if they can seize it. But time is short. Regional threats don't wait for training schedules or supply deliveries. The Philippine Navy must build skills and systems at record speed. Every delay is a lost opportunity. Every success strengthens deterrence and peace. The suspense is real. Will Manila's new ships sail in time? Will they deter, defend, and define the next chapter of Philippine maritime security? One thing is certain. The Abukuma-class transfer is no longer just a headline. It's the front line of Asia's race for maritime security, and the world is watching.